I got another guest on here, and of course, you know my man, Mr. Marvel over here, Albert. What's going on, Alligator Loki?
What up?
And I got overdue Bobcat 50 who just caught up. So I said, come on board. Let's break down this episode. Let's talk about all the goodies. So this episode, real quick, our feelings about this episode. I gave it a 10 out of 10. I thought it was fucking great. Everything I wanted. It had action. It had a lot of good chemistry with the characters. A lot of good character interactions. And then, man, alligator Loki, classic Loki. All these variants of Lokis were awesome. You even get President Loki, which I was a little fooled because I thought that was going to be our TVA Loki, but it ended up being a variant of Loki when I saw the trailers and stuff. So I'm gonna throw it to our guest first. Overdue Bobcat 50. What do you think about this episode?
Episode was a lot of fun, dude. I mean, it was kind of just everything you love about the character Loki, and you get every version of him. And it was a whole lot of fun to see all the interaction between every single Loki. And it's kind of just, I don't know, it was one of the most fun episodes I think they've done of any of these Marvel shows, and it shows that Loki is probably one of the most enjoyable characters, and this episode really showed that. Yeah, and definitely the different like levels of Loki, and it's just insanity.
What do you think, Albert?
Yep. It's so last week people were saying that that episode of Loki was the best episode of all the Marvel shows. I didn't agree with that, but I would agree that this episode was the best episode of all the Marvel shows that we've seen so far.
Absolutely agree.
I would say now that Loki I enjoy more than WandaVision, and I loved WandaVision. Loki is just something else. I don't think anyone expected that it would go the way it's going. I really love it. Yep, 5 out of 5. I rate things out of 5.
Okay, so 5 out of 5 for you.
5 stars.
It was fantastic, man. I mean, what I really noticed was the music, which was amazing in this episode. The apps, it was a lot of freaking fun. Like I was just enjoying the hell out of this thing, and you see a lot of like they had the little dust cloud looking monster thing, Eliath. And I was like, I've seen this before, Fantastic Four, but they did a great job with it. Like it was really detailed and stuff. So there's so many Easter eggs in this episode. So we're gonna get down to it. We're gonna talk about a lot of the great moments of the episode, what we think is gonna happen next. But we're gonna get down to some of these Easter eggs and our feelings about it. So you guys, I mean, I was watching a lot of the YouTube breakdown videos and a lot of videos, and a lot of them are you could easily spot out. You could easily spot out. But so Mobius picks up Sylvie in a like a pizza car, and to me, right off the bat, I was like, "That's Pixar."
That's what I thought too.
That's how the pizza was like going back and forth. I'm like, that's a Pixar Easter egg, and nobody was talking about it. One person, Chase, found out and talked about it, but a lot of these YouTubers didn't talk about that. And I'm like, whoa, this is like a big thing. Pixar is like a Pixar Easter egg, and having the Pizza Planet kind of type of car there. That's awesome, guy. What did you guys think about that one?
As soon as I saw the car, I thought that it was that. But like when it came closer, I was like, oh, it's just like a random looking pizza delivery car. But I felt like, I don't know. I feel like it's not really an Easter egg. It's more like a slight nod to like Pixar.
Yeah.
But I liked it.
Yeah, I liked it too. I was like, I didn't see it until you told me. And then when you told me, I was like, oh shit, that makes a lot of sense. I thought it was really funny. I mean, I wish they did. I wish they could have gone that extra step and made that little rocket. That would have been really cool. But it was still a nice little, like I said, little nod to it.
Nice little nod. It would have been epic if you saw the license plate, and everybody knows in the Pixar's in the universe that they have the license plate, and it's like initials to a secret kind of code that the creators do.
I think it's like A113.
Yeah, that would have been cool if you got like a little shot, like if you could zoom in on that license plate, and it was that. We're gonna get the big one out of the way. Thanos copter. What do you guys think of Thanos copter?
I never saw it. I just saw people post about it, but I saw the episode 4 times and I never saw it.
You never saw it?
Dude, it's right there. Like, it's pretty obvious. I think it's when they're going into the little their shelter. It's like right there. I noticed it, but It's so funny. It's like awesome. I love getting nods like that to really old comic books. Like it's weird, and I didn't even know that until I saw that. I was like, oh my god, Thanos used to fly around in a copter. Why?
Well, it's funny because it's canon.
Yeah,
Yeah, he used to fly around in a copter, running amok, and then he gets arrested by police. It's bizarre. The Titan, getting arrested like that. So everybody's losing their mind on the Thanos copter. I think, and it's like super yellow. Like I don't know how you missed that.
I have no idea how you watched.
It's like even I'm blind as a bat, and I only watched this thing one time, and I still saw it.
Big letterings that say Thanos.
Thanos on there, yeah. The coolest thing though, I want to say it. Hopefully, I say this right. Is okay. So we had the Thanos copter, which was everybody was going nuts at. I didn't. This is the one thing I didn't really notice, and then I had to be told, and then I went back and I saw it. Dude, Yellow Jacket's helmet.
Oh yeah,
huge, expanded, and it's right there. And I'm like, oh shit, that's cool. At the end of Ant-Man, he does kind of like get like he starts shrinking, and then he just kind of evaporates.
Yeah.
So is this the Yellow Jacket from the Ant-Man movie, or is this like another variant of Yellow Jacket that ended up in that spot?
Well, have you heard the theory that that the TVA is within the quantum realm?
Yes, me and Albert have talked about that.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if that theory might play into this. Like when he disappears, maybe he ends up quantum realm, maybe somehow it gets to the TVA. Who knows? Like if that somehow might play into this some way.
Well, when they reveal, skipping ahead, and when Sylvie and Loki go through the are able to defeat what the hell's the thing name again?
Goliath. Yeah.
Yes, and then you see the castle. There's a lot of lighting, coloring that really, to me, reminded me of Thor and the bridge, but also reminds you of the quantum realm.
Yeah. Yeah.
With Ant-Man. And then, of course, even that one time when Doctor Strange went through all the kind of shenanigans when he was visiting the Ancient One. So, I mean, I don't put it past. It could be the quantum. Are we going to get that huge reveal, guys? I mean, we're going to know who the villain is, which I think is another variant of Loki. I don't think they're going to show you Kang right away. I think they'll show you a relationship between Kang and Renslayer at the post-credit. What do you guys think?
I think it's Loki. It makes sense for it to be Loki.
Yeah, I think it's pointing towards Loki. I think just what the show is, it's just another Loki.
Well, in the trailers, we get King Loki on the throne. You think that's
I think that King too. Loki? And I'm like, I don't know, because that could just be misdirection, Because Marvel, they always do that with their trailers.
They do. Yeah.
But also, that's what I think is gonna happen, because at the very end you see the castle and there's a little like gold glowing up top, right? So that could be like the throne room. So I think it is like the Loki that won. And I mean, I feel like the whole series has been showing you that Loki's always betray each other. And then that Nexus event that was happening on the planet was when Sylvie and Loki, like, they trusted each other. So that was like that massive Nexus event. So I think it would make sense for the final boss to be another Loki.
Well, you mean boom chicka wow wow between those two?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this episode, I thought something was gonna happen.
I thought they were gonna kiss, honestly.
But now
like a weird form of masturbation.
It's like it's so it's like I said in my review, it's like a circle jerk. If she was a dude, it's I guess they're their own people, though. If you think about it, it's weird. It's weird.
It's perfect though for a narcissist like him. So, like, for me, it makes sense. I'm like,
I would think Tony wouldn't even think about it. Would just bang himself.
Yeah.
Like, not even think about it. Like, all right, yeah, we got to do this. It's like
Robert and Tony. Antonio Stark.
Antonio Stark. Yeah. So we also so Sylvie tries to enchant in the beginning, tries to see if there's a connection between him and Goliath or whatever it's called. Mm-hmm. I'm just say Dust Cloud, and when she does that enchantment, she actually sees, like, you see that she's like looking at the castle, and then there is that yellow beam that is going, like, that is really showcased in this episode. So she does see that castle. and then of course we see the castle at the end. The other thing, so we got a lot here. I mean,
There's a there's a
there's
load.
okay. Before I get into a lot of these Easter eggs and a lot of cool stuff, I actually was thought of something while I was watching the episode and after the episode, because we were all excited for the multiverse, and this was like the one episode where we got a lot of different variants of Loki. I think President Loki; those are all Lokis.
Mhm.
A lot of people thought the red-headed person was a girl or a woman, but it's actually a guy. I went back and I saw like that's a guy. A lot of people were pointing out because a lot of people were like, "Well, Sylvie is not the only girl Loki. She is." So this is my thought, guys. All right, we have been waiting for the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer for. I mean, everybody thought it was going to drop on Tom Holland's birthday. Everything any minute now. How crazy! It just really depends on Sony's position because Sony is the one that's marketing, and their combined efforts with Disney and Kevin Feige. What if at the finale you get your post-credit scene, setting up for future adventures, and then at the very end of the episode, you get the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer? How nuts would that be?
Dude,
That'd be crazy.
Like, it would make sense, right? I mean, because like we are into multiverse, and they don't really want to spoil too much, or maybe not even like spoil. There might be hints at the Loki finale in that trailer, so them either dropping it that night or dropping it in the morning. What do you guys think? Do you think that might happen?
I think that's a very possibility because when I saw all those different Lokis, the first thing that came to mind is like Spideyverse. I immediately thought like, man, I want to see this with Spider-Man in the MCU. I want to see the different Spider-Mans. So I think this show can definitely it's the stepping stone towards us getting that moment of seeing different Spider-Mans on screen. Yeah. So I think it would play into it. And I think if they're smart, they'll do that.
I think they have been waiting for Loki to finish, right? To show us the trailer. And that's why it's been taking so long. But I don't think that'll play like right after. Although it'd be cool. I think it's that trailer is gonna come out on the 19th of this month.
Oh, okay.
And that's just a guess.
This is a guess on a random day.
Yeah. It's Monday because I feel like the trailers usually come out on Monday. And then on the third week of every month for the last 3 months, Marvel has released a trailer, whether it was for Shang-Chi or the Eternals. Yeah. So I feel like they're going to keep that pattern going. And on the 19th, we'll either get the second Eternals trailer or the first Spider-Man trailer.
God, I hope it's Spider-Man.
I think they're definitely doing Spider-Man because, like, they had such a golden opportunity to drop the trailer in front of Black Widow released this week. But I think they are ready. They know what they're doing. I think the marketing knows that they need to wait on this before. I think it's so much more tied into Loki. First trailer, I don't think we're going to see the Spider-Mans, but I do think we're going to see Doc Ock and Shocker for sure. Some of the villains.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get into these. So the episode's called Journey into the Mystery, and that was the publisher before like the Marvel name took over. So the publishing of a lot of these comics were called Journey into Mystery, and that's the title of the episode. So the ship, the pirate ship, at first I thought it was the Black Pearl. I was like, what is the Black Pearl?
It's not.
It's not. It's I think there's a story to that ship, real life events. The cool thing though, where is it? So the missile, you see a missile there too. And that missile looks very similar to when Pym and the original Wasp, that was the missile that was like sent, and that was their mission to disable that missile. So that missile looks like that missile from Ant-Man and the Wasp too. I don't know if you guys caught that.
That just carries on into the quantum realm theory, in my idea. Like that again, like involving Ant-Man and all the things they do with the quantum realm, that just makes me think maybe that's a quantum realm thing.
That's another. Yes. It's so much tied into Ant-Man and Kang in this episode. There's a lot of Kang references. So Albert, I think you know this one. So that's not the 2012 Avengers Tower. It is, but it has a different name on it. Do you know about that one?
Yeah, I didn't like notice it until I saw like on Twitter they're like, oh, it didn't say Stark. It said I don't know how to pronounce it. I think is it pronounced the same way,
It's
Kang?
like it's like Kang, but with a C.
King
Yeah.
the is it King the Conqueror or
Qeng.
Well, Kang the Conqueror is with the K, and then his
Yeah.
this
This one was with a
Easter egg
Q and
is connected with Kang. So you're right, Albert. It is like spelled a little bit differently.
it's spelled it. It's because it's one of his other like alter egos where in like that comic book he did buy the Avengers Tower.
Yeah,
Um,
he did.
so it is Kang, but like not Kang the Conqueror, like Kang the
no?
businessman. I don't know, but
It's a
yeah,
different
that's a
variant, basically.
Yeah.
yeah,
Now
it could be.
now in the movies and stuff like that, Tony has sold the Avengers Tower,
He
and
did
then
sell it.
I don't think they've revealed who is buying
No.
it yet. We've theorized, Fantastic Four and
Oscorp.
Oscorp. Yeah, has it been
Mhm.
confirmed to be Oscorp yet?
I think they were actually when they did the. I don't know if it was the Avengers or if it was actually Amazing. I think it was the Avengers, where that tower was going to be named Oscorp.
Mm.
So I think I mean if I'm a betting man, I would say if they do come back to that, I mean they could easily do Kang because in the
Yeah.
comics he does buy the he's not King the Conqueror as we know it. It's his organization, and but if I was a betting man, I would say like Oscorp would be the right route. But you never know. Reed Richards, the Fantastic Four tower might happen on that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Now,
what's it called?
yeah.
Far From Home. There was at the very end, like the fencing around that building. There's a poster that says they're coming, and then it shows like the number 4 on there. So that's why people were thinking Fantastic Four. But also
Joker's
people
in
were saying it
Spain.
just means Phase 4. So who knows?
Mm.
I think we'll
Yeah.
see in Spider-Man No Way Home who bought that building.
Yeah, they like to tickle
Yeah.
our balls on some of this stuff, don't they?
They really do. They like to play with us.
Well, King is his name is Nathaniel Richards. So King is actually related to Reed Richards. There's a big connection with Doctor Doom. That's why I think maybe we'll get some Doctor Doom pretty soon because he's a major player in the King storyline.
Yeah.
So it's I still don't believe the finale is gonna absolutely just reveal King. I don't think that's gonna happen. But they're gonna be it's gonna be definitely heavily hinted. I think so. Going into the episode real quick, do you guys believe that Renslayer? Yeah, she has no clue about she was fooled like everybody else. Do you think she's playing pos or playing that role like she doesn't know anything, or she actually knows something?
I think she knows something, but I don't think she knows everything. I don't know. The actress is so good at what she does because I have no idea whether she knows or she doesn't. Like sometimes I'm like, nah, she's capping, and other times I'm like, no, she literally is in the dark, is like with everyone else. But you know who does know everything is Miss Minutes. That girl
Yeah.
is hiding something.
Yeah.
But
Miss Minutes
Renslayer, I
is
feel like
super
she knows
sus.
a little bit more, but not everything.
Everybody is heavily implying that Miss Minutes knows something. Why do you guys
Yeah.
think that? Why do you guys? I honestly don't.
She feels evil.
She's
The
Agatha
way
all along.
The way
Yeah.
that like when Renslayer when they're walking in the hallway, the last time we see Miss Minutes in the episode, Renslayer is all like, "Oh, give me everything on this," and like the facial reactions on Miss Minutes, it's like if she's worried that she's gonna find out something. Like
Yeah.
that's what I think.
So yeah, I
Because
don't.
someone made Miss Minutes, so
Yeah.
like
Miss Minutes was created by whoever started the TVA, and so
yeah,
that I feel like Miss Minutes is the one that's really keeping control of the TVA for this person. And I don't think that she knows everything. She I don't think she's telling us everything so far that she knows, but she's definitely out of the dark on a lot of it. And I mean, but I just think she has such a dedication to her freaking job that she's like, she won't quit.
Mhm.
She's
Yeah, everybody's saying Miss Minutes knows something. I like the little stalling. I didn't really think about it when she was stalling
yeah.
to
That was funny.
Renslayer was trying to get Sylvie and stuff. I absolutely do think that Renslayer knows a lot. I think she is working with Kang, I think first of all, she knew about she's hush hushed C20. You know, she's really good at faking, kind of like a smile, faking you out. She faked out Sylvia a little bit. I
Yeah.
think she knows. She knows. And this thing of her saying like, "Well, I'm just trying to keep order," that's some bullshit. Why does she take Sylvie and Loki to the timekeepers in person? I don't understand that. And I think she knew that they were androids. She was not shocked. I just think she's a bigger player in this. Like the Marvel series love to do that, right? They love to like it was this person all along. You had Agatha. You even had the power broker. You had what's her name? Carter.
Yeah.
Sharon Carter. Stupid. That was a stupid reveal too. But
Let's not talk
anyway,
about that though. We're in a happy place right
we're in
now.
a happy place right now. So I think she does know, but I won't. Your guys, I've seen this exactly. Somebody created Miss Minutes. Who the hell created Miss Minutes? And we're gonna find out, pretty soon.
Yeah.
What'd you guys think of
Hopefully.
Ronan's ship?
I
Was in the
saw
episode.
that. That was crazy.
Oh, I missed that. I didn't see that.
That's when they're fighting Goliath. It's like, and it's right there. And it's like to the left side of the screen when they're fighting
Really?
Goliath.
I
And
missed that completely.
yeah, that was crazy. Also,
Do you know the name
around
of that
there,
ship?
you see the head of a statue that looks like what was his name?
It's
The Living Tribunal.
Yes, it is the Living Tribunal, and we have not, and it was like touched upon a little bit in Doctor Strange. Do you think that's a big message in the upcoming like things that we're gonna get in Marvel?
It could just be a fun little thing, or it could also mean that like he exists somewhere, right? So I don't
Yeah.
know. I think we'll
always,
see him eventually.
I always think with Marvel when they give us little stuff like that, and because you always have to think, is it little? It's just a little
Mhm.
nod to something, or is this like a foreshadowing of what's to come? I think Marvel always just kind of throws that stuff out there, expecting let's see what the fans see. If the fans see this, let's see how they react, and then if they like it, let's do it. If they're not,
But
no,
Exactly.
it's
yeah.
Because we've gotten a lot of Easter eggs and stuff before. Some of
Yeah.
it kind of comes to play. Some like very rare, but there's
Yeah.
a lot of. I think there's just a lot of these guys love doing what they're doing, and they like to throw that stuff in.
yeah.
They talk about. I didn't even know about this. They talk about the one arcade machine that was like an urban myth.
I
That
saw
was
that too.
yeah. So I didn't even know about that until I heard things about it.
I didn't know
Yeah.
about that either. And then my friend pointed out to me that Kid Loki was drinking some Ecto Cooler. And I was like,
Yes.
oh, I didn't know
Yeah.
that either.
Yeah, Goosebumps, Ghostbuster reference right there. So that's
Nice.
really really cool. And then you get Kid Loki himself, Kid Loki, and then you get. So he said he killed Thor. That's why he's
Oh,
the
that
leader.
made me jump out of my seat.
Yeah, that was cool.
But what I took out of it is I think he transformed Thor into that frog. Throg.
Maybe.
Throg
That's right.
is a comic book variant.
Yeah.
What you think about that whole thing with the frog, Thor, and who was your favorite Loki out of the bunch?
You got to go old man Loki, man, with his
He
old
shined
comic
this
books.
episode. Yep.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
all
With
three
his
of them had their moments, but like classic Loki, that was
Yeah.
the moment of the series so far. That shit was iconic. It was crazy with the score
was-
too. The
Mhm.
score for the whole series has been like something else. People used to always complain that the two problems with Marvel movies were always that everything's like gray, like there's not that much color in it, which then like Thor Ragnarok and Guardians of the Galaxy changed. And then the other one was the soundtrack. Besides the Avengers theme, there wasn't really like memorable soundtracks. But with this one, they did something special with this Loki soundtrack. So it's made every scene that much more better, like the classic Loki scene. Dude, he projected all of Asgard, and I was thinking that's dope, that's crazy. But then I'm like, oh man, he ain't got nothing on Wanda though, because this was just a projection. Wanda's was actual matter.
Well,
So-
yeah, yeah.
But
no,
it's still cool. Yep,
Yeah.
it was still cool to see. And I love the little when Loki looks at Sylvie and he's all like, "Oh, I think we're stronger than like we think we are." I like that. I was getting teary-eyed also when that was happening. My eyes were getting a little teary. And then when she says we need to enchant the Goliath and they like hold hands and Loki's all like, "Oh, I don't know how." And then she's like, "Yeah, you do because we're the same." I
Yeah.
love that. That was my favorite line of the whole episode.
My favorite moment was actually when Mobius hugs Loki and tells him, "You're my
Mhm.
favorite." That was so great because I really love the relationship they build throughout
Mhm.
this. That's what makes this series go, and that's why I think you could rewatch this series a lot because of the established relationships, and it's a very smooth transition to where they're going. What was your favorite moment, Chase?
My favorite moment, my favorite moment was definitely the. Well, I mean, I have to say, like the old, the old Loki pulling up Asgard was something that was just absolutely insane, and like his sacrifice, and it's kind of like his change of mind, kind of the way he, he was adamant on just surviving. Like that's all Loki's do is survive, and that's all they said, and they don't do anything. Like they don't, and Loki's are always just the same. The same things happen. They're always destined to lose. And he decided to change that. Like he just realized he can do something different if he wants to, and not have to follow the same path. And and that's what I love that moment for, is just that switch, and just the whole general like Loki theme of Loki's can never change, and you're seeing this right now as Loki's are taking a different path.
That's
Hmm.
that's what I love, man. That's what I love about this Loki series is that the TVA Loki that we've been following is so much different and has this journey, right? And you can see it going beyond after the finale. I think they confirmed it with the season 2 yet. I'm not quite sure, but the interesting question is when we touched upon it a little bit with Wanda, right? So Wanda reached her potential in the WandaVision series. Do you think? Because I was like thinking about it, and Old Man Classic Loki, I think that's a reach of that guy's potential. But I don't think I think you can go far beyond that with the TVA Loki if we continue if he finds ways. It's kind of like Saiyans,
Yeah.
they just get more transformations, they get more stronger. Do you think there's a possibility that Loki can get up there with Wanda? Because Wanda is considered one of the strongest out of everybody, and we haven't even seen Doctor Doom yet. We haven't seen, Doctor Strange hasn't tapped into his potential. I don't think either. Do you think Loki can get up there, and you think they're setting that up?
I'm not sure. I feel like he already knows something that classic Loki didn't, and that's enchantment. Because I feel like that was just a Sylvie thing, and now he knows it too. Sure, he did it with her, but I feel like now he can do it by himself. So, like you said, he probably can surpass that classic Loki, which that would be crazy. But also, I don't know what their plans are with Loki. I don't think he'll get Wanda's levels just because even she, as the Scarlet Witch at the end of WandaVision, was already super powerful, and she's barely like scraped the surface of what she can do. Doctor Strange, he's definitely gonna get up there because he's not the Sorcerer Supreme yet.
Not yet,
I
yeah.
mean, he's just like in charge, but he's not really there. And like the Ancient One said, he's the one that's supposed to be the best of them.
Yeah.
But with Loki, I don't know. I don't think he'll be up there with Wanda or Doctor Strange.
No, he's definitely not going to reach that level because um, I think Loki, he definitely surpassed old Loki, because old Loki probably always has held himself back for the fact that he didn't do anything for years and years. He hid
Yeah.
on a planet. Like he definitely didn't grow at all as a Loki. While this Loki is going to surpass every other Loki because he's breaking the barriers that Loki's haven't done before. But his magic and stuff like that is all based off trickery and deception, and that will help him put him in places of power, like in if he wants to, like put him in, like if he becomes the leader of the TVA, like kind of thing, like if he takes control of time, like that's more powerful than anything else out there, even the Infinity Stones. He
Yeah.
realizes this is the most powerful thing he can do right now. He has ways to put himself into power, but he himself, I don't think, with it, just because it's kind of just it's a deception kind of magic and deception kind of powers, it just can't reach the level that Wanda, or definitely not Doctor Strange, can do.
And we don't even know if like this guy who's controlling everything in that castle might be Loki himself, a variant
Yeah,
King Loki. So he might have
yeah,
accomplished all this. You're
yeah.
right, because this Loki is doing a lot of stuff. He's learning a lot of things about the TVA. Classic Loki, I think it was too late. He was already old when they took him in,
Yeah.
because he was lonely. So But classic Loki, dude, classic Loki was the badass. It was him and the alligator Loki. I love
Yeah,
alligator
stole the
Loki.
show.
Alligator Loki was awesome, and I just love how they like pan to him, and he just has like a blank face,
That
and they're
was
like,
hilarious.
the facial expressions in this series in this episode's really good too. If you like really look at the acting ability of Tom Hiddleston, the actress who's playing Sylvie, they have great facial expressions and interactions and back and forth and stuff. So another thing is, okay, so they're at the castle. We're gonna find out. There's that big intimate moment with Loki and Sylvie talking, and it's all in throughout this series. It's all about betrayal, right? It's all about, are you gonna betray me? We see that when all the variants, boisterous Loki, let down. Of course, he's gonna, yeah, he betrays them, and then you get President Loki, and then all the other Lokis betray President Loki. So there's a lot of betrayal. Hilarious when the alligator bites his hand off. I thought that was a great reaction.
That was
Yeah.
fun.
Do you think there's a possibility that one, either Sylvie or TVA Loki is going to betray each other? And two, do you see a death happening at the season finale?
I don't think they'll betray each other. I feel like they trust each other, and that's what the show's been building up to. So I think it'd be kind of like, I feel like it would have been written by what's the Game of Thrones writers if they do end up
D&D?
betraying each
Oh
other.
God,
Yeah.
don't bring. I thought we were in our happy place, and
Hey,
you want to bring
so-
that shit in here.
they're doing a lot more 6 episodes of Loki than they did with the final 6 episodes of Game of Thrones.
Oh my
That's
God, I
true.
know, right?
That's
Jesus.
crazy.
Yeah.
So
With
yeah,
with less
it-
time too. I think Game of Thrones
Right.
was longer.
They were longer episodes.
Oh
Yeah,
my
Yep,
God,
yep,
so
yeah.
crazy that this is not an hour long.
it's
right?
like 43 minutes.
This
or something.
episode felt longer too. It was only
Felt like-
40
it was a-
minutes. And I thought it was gonna end when they're like all looking at a lion. I was like, oh, it's gonna end right here because it felt like 40 minutes, and then
No.
it showed everything that happened with their fight against the lion. I was like, damn, it was a crazy episode. But yeah, I don't think they're gonna betray each other. But I do feel like I have the feeling that one of them is gonna die.
Yeah.
Also, I was thinking, if it is King Loki that they're fighting, how crazy would it be if it ends with him killing both of them? I don't know. I don't think it'll happen, but that was just a thought, and I was like, that'd be insane. The show ends as soon as he like kills both of them. I don't think so, but one of them maybe.
I can see a fake betrayal to where like they try to like whoever's in charge, if it's another Loki or whatever, tries to convince them like, hey, like you can have this too or whatever, and like Loki, our TVA Loki might just be like, oh, like act like he's going into it and act like he's betraying Sylvia, is that you call her?
Yeah, Sylvia.
Sylvia, yeah, act like he's betraying her or she betraying him or whatever. I see more him betraying her because she's after actually just killing whoever's behind all this. But like him faking betraying her, I see as like a possibility. But I don't see them betraying each other. I think that that level of trust has been built between them, and I just don't see that breaking right now. I think he might have a moment where he's challenged, where he maybe does think about betraying her because he is Loki, and that just will cross his mind for all that power of time. But then he'll be like, after seeing all of his other Lokis just betray each other and destroy each other, and realize maybe that's just what gets him into these. That's what made his life so shitty in the first place.
I think he's realizing that too. How like it's like classic Loki said. He ran away and his life was so lonely and he missed his brother, and like the TVA Loki has that. I think that's why it's crazy, because we're sympathize with Loki like more, which is like it's Loki, and but you sympathize with him, and I think he's realizing like this is bullshit. Like I don't want to be, the fall guy. I don't want to be constantly lonely, depressed. Why? I just like he said,
an outcast.
no, he wants to take it over. And the classic Loki and the kid Loki, this really resonated with me too, is when they escape the brawl with all the Lokis, or being Lokis. Kid Loki just says like, this shit always happens, man. Every time we try to change something, it just keeps going. And like that's why TVA Loki, that's why we got to take out the TVA. Like we gotta do what we gotta do. So it's not just him. It's actually classic Loki. It's actually Kid Loki, and at some point, it's some way Sylvie too.
An alligator.
And Alligator Loki. Alligator Loki was with them, so he's down with the cause too.
Alligator Loki was down ass food.
So I thought about Spider-Man. That Spider-Man trailer hitting. That was one thought. But then at the end of this episode, and I had to think about it, I was like, okay, what stuck to me was the great thing was the story that classic Loki. How he got her, like he presented an illusion that Thanos killed. It was so good. Thanos thought he killed him, and then he went and drifted out in space, found a planet. He was Luke for a little bit until that motherfucker got lonely, and then TVA got him, right?
Yep.
Either one, if it is King Loki, and that's like at that castle, it's like the villain, it was Loki all along, or just a possibility down the road. I thought, what if the Loki we know from Infinity and Endgame did the same damn thing? And that's either King Loki or he's going to pop up later on. How crazy would that shit be?
You're right. Because that was a very popular theory. Before Endgame, we had seen Infinity War and we knew Loki was coming out. So everyone was like, how are we going to have a Loki show if he died? So before we saw Endgame, a very popular theory was that he did that he did a projection of himself to fake out the death. And everyone was saying how it's cool that with this episode in one of the multiverses with the classic Loki, that's what happened. Like the theory that people had was true. So, I mean, just because he did it doesn't mean that the Loki we were used to didn't do it as well. So I didn't think about that, and that'd be dope.
He might have went that other route and actually learned more about the TVA. That's why I'm like, dude, how crazy would King Loki be? The Loki that we know. Mm-hmm. So when he said like he kills both the Sylvie and the TVA Loki, well, and he maybe reveals himself like, dude, I was the Loki that you thought I was dead. Like it's confusing, but it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy if it were to happen.
But also in the TVA, that shows like that was the end of his file, the end of his life. Wouldn't they know if he lived or not in the sacred timeline?
They didn't know how. Well, yeah, but they didn't even know where Sylvie was though. They didn't know about the void that all these Lokis are in and they're still alive.
Yeah.
There's right. The problem with it though is like there's so much little time unless it's like an hour and a half episode. I don't know. I don't think they're gonna fit everything. Is it 50 minutes?
Yeah. I think it'll be 50 minutes.
Hopefully, Jesus.
Yeah. But there is a lot because look, also Mobius went back to the TVA. We need to see what's gonna happen there.
Let's talk about Mobius. Let's talk about that. I don't think a lot of people are talking about that. The fact that Mobius, of course, they talk about the hug, the friendship that he gave Loki. Mm-hmm. He said he's gonna go back to TVA and burn it to the ground. I was thinking like, dude, go to Nightmare spot, open that son bitch up, right? And a lot of people are saying though, talking about villains that were there all along. What if Mobius is the villain at the end of this?
Like a variant of him, or what?
I'm gonna maybe because he is able to. There is a lot of like sayings in the series. Even when Loki and Sylvie were cuddling up on the blanket, he said he was able. He could project like a lot of stuff. He could change appearance. I don't know. It to me that's kind of. I don't think that's gonna happen. I think Mobius. Because in comics, Mobius does have like other variants. I think he will run into maybe an evil Mobius because I think, like I said, Renslayer in the office and all those rings, they didn't really focus on that and say that for no reason. I think we might see some different variants of Mobius though, for sure, in the finale. What's you guys' thoughts on Mobius and just going back to the TVA? That's two big storylines. Mobius in the TVA with Renslayer. You also have B-15 trapped, and then now you got Sylvie, TVA Loki going to the castle. I think that's going to be just a big narration of reveals and stuff, and I think the main battle is going to be Mobius.
I think you're right. I think it's going to be the next episode is going to be two stories of Loki with Sylvie at the castle, learning all the truth and learning what's actually going on, while Mobius is going to be back at the TVA and probably getting was it B-15 out of her sail, and them together taking down the TVA and taking down Renslayer. And I think that's gonna be like even maybe more the action packed part. We'll see what happens there, but I think that's gonna be a really interesting dynamic. Because what I like about these TVA characters is I've really gotten to love like Mobius. And I really love was it Renslayer? Is that how you say it? Renslayer. I love her acting ability. Like she is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
She's been a great villain thus far. I even like B-15 a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I like the little moment she's had. And so I'm really excited to see what happens. Like, I could maybe see what if there's a possibility that Mobius becomes the next leader of the TVA? What if this isn't just burning of the ground? What if he goes in and changes the TVA?
Well, I thought Loki was going to do that.
Yeah.
That was my prediction early on.
Or we're going to see Mobius get his happy ending with him on a jet ski.
That's going to happen.
Hey, yeah. He blows up the TVA and then you see him like drifting into space on some kind of jet ski.
Yeah.
With the explosion of the TVA behind him.
Yeah. The only way I see it ending that is reasonable and setting up wise and is that we know that everybody in the TVA is a variant. They're hypnotized basically. The only way I could see that everything coming to a conclusion in like a simple matter and not too overthought or whatever, blowing up shit, is if somehow Mobius is able to enchant all these people and just kind of realize who they are. Like maybe Sylvie comes back to that TVA, maybe TVA Loki and Sylvie are able to transport back to the TVA and they're able to find something that was able to enchant everybody, kind of like the Wonder Woman 1984 thing, where for some reason he's able to make wishes and all that stuff. So that's the only way I see like maybe the TVA going down. But Albert, we talked about this. If you're setting up for the multiverse, there's got to be some destruction, right? There's got to be a timeline, secret timelines going all over the place.
Look,
open ending.
I'll tell you. What's that beam of light behind the castle? I think that's the timeline.
How crazy would it be if it was Asgard?
Yeah, the bridge. No, it looks like a beam of light, and I'm thinking that's like the timeline, right? So that's where I think they're gonna do the multiverse. Is whatever happens right there at that castle with like whatever showdown happens, something's gonna happen to where that timeline. I think it's a timeline. I don't know. It looks like it. I feel like that's what it is. Something's gonna happen to it where it like starts branching off, and that's the multiverse. So I think that's gonna happen there. At the TVA, I have no idea what's gonna happen at the TVA. I mean, the thing is, I don't know if there is a season 2 or not. Because if there's not, then shit's gonna go down in this next episode. But if there is, then some shit can go down, but that like not everything.
Open ending.
Yeah, open ending. The TVA, I like what you said, where they're gonna do something so where all the agents, all the people that work there, see their like past life. That'd be dope.
Yeah.
And then I feel like that'd be a cool way to do it.
Well,
so
there was hints, or I guess it was a little hint that said there was a door that you couldn't go through in the beginning of the series. What's that door?
Was it not the
golden door? Timekeepers.
For the timekeepers?
Oh, it might have been the timekeepers, yeah.
Probably for the timekeepers, yeah.
So out of all the series though, and then for the upcoming series as well with Hawkeye and She-Hulk, I think Loki is the only one I could say that deserves a season 2 if they go that route, because there's so much more you can explore. They already created this world. You're in this world. There's rules. There's complication. There's just so much that you could do. It's kind of like, especially if the secret timelines are all over the place, and they're trying. Maybe their mission is kind of like to go to different timelines and fix it, because we get a huge a huge thing that happens in there is that they're not really resetting time. They're just throwing it in the garbage dump at the void. So it's not being reset other than when Alioth gets a hold of them, which we don't even know where they go after that.
That's all. It reminded me of Dormammu.
They did show like the sailors and stuff. You can see clearly that they're being disintegrated into bones.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. That
and
was
when
a
you
cool
see when
action
they,
sequence too.
yeah, which I want to say this too. Like I saw something I was thinking like with everything we see inside the void, you know, you have the UFO, you have all the ships and stuff like that. All that stuff that's kind of missing. People did theorize like what is the connection between this and the Bermuda Triangle. And, you
Yep.
know, like, the thought process of what is this between that and the Bermuda Triangle? Is everything disappearing to here somehow in the Bermuda Triangle? What's going on there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that ship is like a known story as well, I believe. I think it went
Yes.
missing or something, or it was
It was some like
supposed to be
invisible.
invisible. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what else is on here? The well, what's crazy is that okay, so we get a what do you call it? The Avengers helicarrier in the
Oh yeah,
background.
Hmm.
That's a Hydra one.
nice.
That's not like that's a Hydra one. That's pretty
So
big.
that's if at the end of Winter Soldier when they take down the three helicarriers. That's if that didn't happen, probably.
I think so. I
Yeah.
think
Mhm.
so. Um, so yeah, and then of course so that was pretty cool. The helicarrier. You see that at Deadpool 2 and Deadpool 1. I thought that was pretty awesome as
Oh
well.
yeah, I remember that.
That was great.
Yeah.
So let's see. Okay, another one too is Kid Loki has wings on his helmet like Thor.
Ooh.
Could that be a trophy for killing Thor in a way?
Maybe. And
Because
like
he
I said,
killed Kid Thor
I think he might have like transformed Thor into that frog.
into the
Why is that
frog Thor.
frog there?
I
You
think that
know?
that frog is. I think he's just from a different timeline. All right. So
Yeah,
two
dude.
things. The kid Loki. We don't know why he killed Thor. We don't know if it was like an accident or if he had to or if he really just like hated him so much that he needed to kill him. I kind of want to know more, but at the
Yeah.
same time, I like that we don't know. I
Well,
like that
isn't
how he just said I killed Thor.
and I could just be imagining this, but I want to say I remember in like Thor Ragnarok or something there was that Loki mentioned the fact that he tried to stab Thor when they were younger.
No,
Probably.
yeah, Thor.
So
Thor
I
was
was
Yeah.
telling
one.
that story.
Yeah.
He was telling about Loki was a snake, and he turned back into Loki, and he stabbed Thor.
Exactly.
And,
And I
so,
think
yeah,
when
what
we
if
picture
what if this variant killed him in that moment?
and
yeah,
I think when we
that'd be
picture
funny.
it, we picture it like Kid Thor killing Big Thor, like when he's a grown man.
Yeah, but
But they're
it's
still
Kid Thor.
kids.
Thor.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so he killed a kid, basically.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
They're
Another
not
one.
kids though. They're like 500 years old.
Yeah,
Yeah,
But yeah.
but they're in kid bodies, basically.
Yeah, kid bodies.
So
Mhm.
also they're drinking Roxy wine, which is like Roxy Cart when we saw in that episode, that supermarket. So they're drinking Roxy wine, and the alligator drinks that wine too, which is kind of hilarious. So yeah, I mean, this is crazy, man. This one really sets up a lot of like what may happen. So that scares me too, because I'll be honest with you, the last two series, the finales have let me down. Albert, I know
Oh, I
you
was
like
thinking that.
WandaVision.
Yep. I wanted to tell you that. I was like, the last two series, the finales. I mean, WandaVision finale. You liked it up to that point, right?
Mm-hmm.
And with Falcon Winter Soldier, you never really cared for it. So the
Oh,
finale
so
was just like
boring.
the rest of the series. So
Because
I
of the
was
villains,
thinking,
honestly.
third time's a charm, maybe. Maybe you'll like this one. Maybe you won't. I don't know.
So-
We'll see.
I think to me, in my opinion, they've only had one bad episode, and that was episode 3. But even then, that was more of really establishing the relationship between Sylvie and Loki. It was like after this big old thing where we were disappointed that they fixed the sacred timeline so easily, or we didn't get to
Oh,
go
yeah.
and see a lot of
Yeah.
the different timelines. So yeah, man. I mean, are we gonna see Kid Loki again? There is
I think so.
the Young Avengers is being set up. You have Ironheart. You have Miss Marvel. You have quite a bit, and then
America
now you have Kid Loki.
Chavez, Kid Loki, Hawkeye,
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Um,
Hawkeye's daughter. Yeah,
Speed and Wiccan if they come back.
Yeah. I'm wondering.
Sorry, go ahead because I
No,
forgot.
no,
what I was
yeah.
gonna say.
No, you go. What you
I
did for
forgot,
you.
I forgot where I was going with that.
go Chase.
Oh, all right.
This is a separate thing, but I was wondering like how is this going to tie into Multiverse of Madness, the next Doctor Strange movie
Yeah.
coming out next year? That's what I was wondering. Is this going to tie into that at all?
Which
Because
is
of
weird
course,
because Multiverse of Madness was supposed to come out before Loki.
Mm-hmm.
Was it really? I didn't even
Hmm.
know that.
Because of the pandemic, it got pushed. A lot of them got pushed.
Got
We're
pushed back.
supposed to
Yeah.
get Black Widow first, like how it is right now.
Yeah.
And then Multiverse got pushed, man. We were supposed to get that. So that did they change some things? I wonder. To
Kevin Feige
fit.
said there was only one thing that changed, and I forgot what that was. But I feel like they had to because also Spider-Man was originally going to come out after Doctor Strange. Now it comes out before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Doctor Strange is in the Spider-Man movie. I can't see Spider-Man movie
That's-
taking place after Doctor
They had
Strange.
to
Yeah.
restructure something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yep.
it is weird. It is weird because because I remember that. I remember Doctor Strange was come out before Spider-Man, and I remember thinking, "Oh, Multiverse of Madness is where the multiverse is going to get screwed up. Things are going to change, and that's how we're going to get into the Spideyverse with Spider-Man in the next." But now we're doing Spider-Man first. So how are they going to explain all of a sudden there being different Spider-Mans and different villains from different universes in?
Well, I think the multiverse for sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
And like, is Loki going to be the one to set it up? Because or are they going to just do that in Spider-Man? Is the beginning of Spider-Man just going to be, oh, hey, here's the multiverse, they're starting?
Loki has already set it up.
Yeah.
Loki
But
has
set up-
already did it.
You meant like set up the other Peters, like showing them and stuff, right?
Yeah,
sort
like
of, in an unintentional way, probably. Once the sacred timelines go bonkers,
yeah,
it's. I think that's kind of. It's not going to be like, at the end of this finale, we're going to see Tobey Maguire come out. I don't think it's going to be like a boner situation.
God, that'd be dope.
I think it's going to be. It's more subtle than that. The best thing we're going to get is the introduction to King, as not a huge crazy thing, but a mention probably, and then also the timelines going nuts probably. But yeah, this is already took that huge step because we already have different versions of Loki. We know that Loki is not the same sometimes. We know there's different events happened in different variants. TVA itself exists, but then who controls the TVA? So much setup. So I have to think Kevin Feige did change a lot of things. WandaVision was like the crumb, right? No. And then Multiverse has to be, okay, now we're in the thick of it. If that's not the case, what the hell are we doing here, Kevin Feige? Why are you teasing my balls? Like, you're just like, just come on, man. Go all in. Do it. Totally. So I'm not quite sure. And then there's also the possibility of course, we're going to get Fantastic Four. And we know their Rogue Gallery. We know that really goes into science. I'm hoping John Krasinski gets cast, and hopefully Emily Blunt, retracts her statement and actually wants to be part of this. We'll see. The percentage of Emily Blunt being cast is down, but then we get this is crazy, man. They're doing this shit on purpose to the fans. We're getting the finale. We haven't got Spider-Man No Way Home yet. We just got dropped a What If, and What If is technically kind of like a multiverse type deal. That's a what if, right?
Yeah.
And then this motherfucker comes out with little Kevin Feige, and he drops the claws. And then Hugh Jackman wants to tickle our balls. He wants to put out a post, and everybody's like, "Oh shit, is this guy coming back?" I hate these motherfuckers. They're doing it on purpose.
Yeah.
So I think things start after Loki. I think things start getting real if Sony has agreed to put their shit into Disney. If Let There Be Carnage is a hint of Tom Holland's Spider-Man, or Morbius with Blade, because Loki dropped Blade down. I can't wait for that. And then you got Daredevil coming back. You have fucking Jessica Jones coming back.
I didn't know Jessica Jones was coming back.
Not their Netflix. This is a different
but them
variant.
Coming in.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That is nuts. That's what I think really like fucking knocks down the door. But then we don't even know if Spider-Man, if the multiverse kind of, I think that it's a bad move if they end it just at that film and they fix everything. I think they got to go a little bit longer,
Mm-hmm.
But Loki has been doing a hell of a job. This series. So guys, this series, At this point, do you guys think this is the best series out of the Marvel series so far that Disney has been dropping? What about do you have a more appreciation, or you're not? You still have the same kind of attitude towards Loki? What do you guys think, man?
I didn't care about Loki before the Loki show, honestly. I know a lot of people have always loved him and stuff, but I was always like, he's cool, but I don't need to see more of him. I'll watch the show, but like if we didn't get the show, I wouldn't have cared. Now the show has made me like, and that's what they're for, right? That's why the Disney Plus shows are meant for people to get to know the characters more and fall in love with them more if they don't already. And yeah, I love Loki now. I want to see more. He was nowhere near like my top 10, and I don't even know what my top 10 is like, but he might be in there now. Like, so I appreciate him more.
Do you think that Loki is going to be a big player after the season finale? Whatever happens to him, do you think that he is going to be popping up in some of these movies, these MCU movies?
I think a variant of him will Sylvie or Kid Loki, but Tom Hiddleston Loki, I'm not sure. Maybe we'll see. That's something we'll see more after the series ends, right?
Yeah.
I could say though, Kid Loki for sure. I can see him, and also I really hope Alligator Loki stays with him. I hope they're just a pair because I love it.
That'd be a good pairing.
And then Sylvie too, but who knows? Maybe she's the one that dies.
Baby, what do you think, Chase?
So I've always liked Loki a lot. What I liked about Loki was Tom Hiddleston. I always thought he's portrayed the character very, very well. Thought he was always just a lot of fun as the character Loki. Never looked at Loki as some he was never never a top 10 guy for me because he was never. I was always saw him as a comic relief. Like even as a villain, I think in the Avengers movie, I saw him kind of as a comic relief. Like he's not that, he's never been that threatening or whatnot. But I loved this show. This show I was kind of most excited for when they were announcing all the shows they're going to do because like I said, I love Tom Hiddleston, and I thought it was just going to be the funnest of the shows. But really, it's kind of turned out to be the deepest of the shows. Like his character work in the show has been amazing, and they have really stretched him out because it just how deep it goes with him. And I've really appreciated him a lot more. I've appreciated the character a lot more, like the deeper kind of thought he has, and the character work they've done has just helped him grow a lot. I mean, really, when it comes to more Loki in the MCU, I think that's going to be up to Tom Hiddleston. If he wants to continue it, I think they'll fully want him more and more because people, I think the show has been met with a lot of praise, and I think that's going to carry. They're going to want to see more and more of him, and he's been in it for a long time, so who knows how long he'll want to carry it. I assume he'll be in the next Thor movie because it's Loki, and everyone just loves Loki, and he was a great partner with Thor in Thor Ragnarok, and so I assume him. I don't know about Sylvie, like if she'll continue. I like the actress a lot for Sylvie. I think she has knocked it out of the park. She's done a great job of portraying a female Loki and having those characteristics while also just being a little different. And I don't know. I don't see her going anywhere outside the show, but it would be cool to see her outside the show. I can definitely see her dying.
There has to be a reunited Thor and Loki, right? At the end of all this, like when Chris Hemsworth,
I want to see that
steps down, they have to reunite one last time, either in a movie or in a cameo of a TV. If they renew like another season of Loki, like it has to happen. Loki has been like, I really liked Loki. I thought he was one of the better villains of the MCU, but I really appreciate this character now more. Just because of, like Chase said, like how much they've done. Like TVA Loki now is more sympathetic for me. Sylvie coming in, I thought that it was going to be kind of like the wokeness stuff where like, so Sylvie's going to take over and overshadow our Loki that we've been, we know Tom Hiddleston, but that hasn't been the case. And I'm so happy that's not the case. They've been equal. They have great chemistry. It's been like Mobius and Loki. They did a good job of that. They don't have Sylvie overshadowing Loki. They have her standing right next to Loki, and she's an interesting character of her own. We still don't know why the TVA took her. Why? What was her? Was she because she was the good Loki or something? She did something good or whatever? We don't know. But this Loki man, Tom Hiddleston has been killing it. I know Kevin Feige came out and said he's not doing any more multi contracts, to sign these guys for 8 years, 4 years. But if anybody deserves it, and if they want it, I do think Tom Hiddleston deserves like at least a 4-year contract of any appearance, even if
Yeah.
it's voice work. I really feel like his story, whatever we get at the finale, I really feel like his story, I could continue it. I would like to see more of it. I want to see maybe like a Doctor Who kind of thing going on at the end of the series finale, where it is him and Sylvie, maybe Kid Loki, like adventures, right? But you're right, Chase. What threw me off was I thought this would be the funnest. I thought it'd be more shenanigans, but it became the deepest. It became more of a character driven show, conversations, setup.
And it's been like that since the first episode.
It's been good.
Yeah.
It's been a good ride so far. So I hope the season finale is amazing. So that's what we're just gonna have to watch it. We're gonna have to watch the season finale, and I bet you there's gonna be so much we're gonna be talking about. I want to do a little bonus round here. So real quick, Albert, have you seen the What If trailer?
I saw it.
Have.
Yep.
I know you have.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna talk a little bit of that What If, because it does kind of like it does deal with the different storylines. Like Black Panther is Star-Lord, Spider-Man is fighting Wanda. You have also Agent Carter as Captain America. What was your take on that trailer, and are you excited for the show?
I am excited. I don't know how many episodes there will be. Every episode is a standalone episode, right? That's what I'm feeling. That's what I think it is.
I think
every
so.
episode's its own story. I don't think they connect. But dude, when that trailer started and we're seeing Tony Stark, right? It's like the beginning of Iron Man 1. And then you just see someone like picks up the missile and throws it. I'm like, who's that? And then it shows it's Eric Killmonger. I was like, what
that was
the
nuts.
heck? This shit's crazy. I was like, shouldn't it be like way younger? Shouldn't it be like a teenager? But
that's true too.
It's
That's
like
a good point. That's a good point.
You just
Something about too hard.
That's so true.
So I was like, you know what? This is What If. So maybe he was born earlier. I don't know.
What if Monger becomes the Iron Man?
Oh man, I don't know. That'd be crazy. Well, yeah. I'm thinking like, what story is this? Is this a story where Killmonger is the king? Because we've seen that, and like the pop that came out, right? It says King Killmonger, and he has like the head of Ultron. So I'm like, is this like if Killmonger was part of the MCU from the beginning?
I saw those Funko Pops. I didn't really look at his though, but I saw some of those.
Yeah, he has like an Ultron head. So I'm like, is this gonna be like his story throughout like all the, like he was always an Avenger or something? That's what I'm thinking. I don't know. So that'll be cool. And then all the other ones are crazy too, like Captain Carter. I can't wait for that one. The Marvel Zombies one's gonna be dope.
That's what I'm looking forward to the most.
That's what I said too.
The Marvel Zombies, man.
The zombies are awesome.
We saw, I think it showed Spider-Man with the Doctor Strange cape, and I was like, that's cool because we could see that in the movie too.
Dude, I thought that was Peter B. Parker for a minute from Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Peter's back, baby. Dad bod Peter. But some of the stills, he's fighting Wanda.
Yeah. I didn't see that. I only saw a trailer once. I did see Wanda in it. I just didn't realize that.
It's quick. It's super
quick.
It's very quick. What if it's animated, but to me, it's part of the MCU. Like, it's part of the multiverse. This stuff did happen. It's just in different timelines.
That's how I like to think of it.
I like to see everything's connected. I mean, even the comic books, I think, are connected to this universe as well.
Mm-hmm.
I have to see how the hell Black Panther is Star-Lord. That confused me. That's like the biggest thing. I was like, what the? Yeah. They really showed that.
The first trailer shows it. They just
Yondu takes him.
Didn't realize it. Mm-hmm. Oh, Yondu takes him. Oh,
yeah, Yondu shows up there. I don't know if it's because T'Challa's the son of Ego or what, but yeah.
It's so odd that pairing though.
It is. It's just such a weird. You never think of it. Black Panther and Star-Lord. Like that's such. Yeah.
It reminds me of those Infinity Pops with him.
Mm-hmm.
The zombies for sure, and then Howard the Duck gets a little spot on here, which is
That
kind of
was
crazy.
crazy too. Yep. I
Um,
don't know how many episodes there's gonna be. I feel like this one's gonna be more than like the TV shows because it's like animated.
it might be a
And
6. I could see it being 6. I don't
no, I
know.
think
It
it's like
depends if the
10.
storylines are connected
Yeah.
somewhat.
I think 8 to 10. It does depend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
I want
think
to
the
see Agent
schedule's
Carter
already
too.
out there for
Yeah,
like how many
probably
episodes there is.
because after Loki, this comes out the next month.
Yeah, comes out. This is gonna be like the August and September show.
This is the next Okay, this is the next Marvel show they're doing.
Yeah, maybe October too. If there's like when depending on when it comes out in August and how many episodes there are, it might bleed into October, and then Hawkeye in like November or Miss Marvel. So
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
That's the one show I'm not looking forward to. I'm just like,
Hawkeye?
yeah,
What Hawkeye? Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, that's just
I will-
to build up Kate Bishop, right?
No,
I'm looking forward to it because I love Haley Steinfeld. So
Yeah, she's great. She's fantastic. That's a great casting choice. I thought a lot of people were pulling for her to be Spider-Gwen, real life, live action
Oh
Spider-Gwen.
yeah, because she was the voice actress in
Into the Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse. Yep.
yeah.
So,
Well, I know that the Marvel wanted her to be Kate Bishop, and originally she said no, but because everything got pushed back, she was able to. So
that's good.
if there's one thing that came from these COVID delays, is that she is now.
And
I know
it's
this.
Marvel also. That one's gonna go into Captain Marvel, so that'll be interesting.
Captain Marvel.
I'd rather watch She-Hulk. Albert loves Miss. So if you don't know, Chase, Albert loves Captain Marvel, and I can't do it. I can't do it.
No, man, no.
Great.
I can't believe she got a movie before Black Widow, man. Black Widow movie is barely coming out right now.
I hope it's good. I'm excited. It's crazy because COVID, like, man, we haven't had much Marvel for a year. And it's so weird because Marvel has consumed the movies for like ever.
I think
Feels
it's
like-
too much.
You think it's
Too much shows,
Oh,
too
man.
much movies coming at you. There is a thing called fatigue, man.
There
It's
is.
just like saying if you had the Western genre and every goddamn different Western movie is happening throughout the whole year.
I have a feeling that either Shanghai or just
Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi.
Did you say Shanghai?
Shang-Chi or Eternals, I have a feeling one of them could bust.
No, these things will still
You don't
make
think
money.
so?
I
mean, they'll make money, but could it be critically could be bad?
Yeah.
And like, I don't know. It just that, man, they're throwing so much at us right now, but it's partly because of the fact that like we've been without it for a year, and now here they are. They're like, all right, we're back in. I feel like Loki is my first feeling of we're back into this. We're back into Marvel. We're back in these movies are coming now this year. We are going like full speed. All the theories, all the ideas of what's going to happen. Like this, it's been like a year without Marvel, and I haven't thought about it much. And now that I feel like I'm getting back into it, and it's just been a weird time.
I think
It's been 2 years since the last movie.
Has it really been
Came out in
2
July in 2019.
Holy shit!
Exactly 2 years ago. Yesterday was the last time we went to watch a premiere.
What's been keeping us over is
That's crazy.
The Wandavision series,
which still didn't. I mean, those just came out.
The beginning of the year.
Came out beginning of the year, so like we went a year and a half.
Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy, and even though like those felt like kind of just snippets of Marvel, like kind of just like little bite size. It's not a movie, and
that's what I said in my review.
I prefer the movies. Like I just kind of prefer the movie route. I don't want them to go full TV. I think this is. I love Loki. Love these shows. I like these shows, but I don't want them to continue this as a main thing to the MCU. They will because they want money, but they shouldn't.
And streaming is like the new era, basically.
Yeah.
Yep. I love the shows though. I don't want all of them to be shows, but I also do want the shows to continue because Loki benefits from being a show over a movie. Now,
this is the one show and WandaVision I would say benefits the most. I didn't think Falcon and Winter Soldier, like you could have just made a movie, honestly.
They are making it.
Well, now they are.
I mean,
I'll say Black Widow. My expectations are not too high.
No,
I think that's going to be the least hype movie of this year.
I agree with Martin Scorsese and a little bit of the Blade actor. A little bit. I agree a little bit. There's just it's really the same. A lot of same stuff. You can only do so much. right?
Shit,
You can
yeah.
only do so much. Where in like I could watch Casino, Godfather, and it's a different feel.
Yeah.
It's different. It's different. That's not a bad thing because I want my goddamn explosions.
Which,
There is heart in a lot of these storylines.
yeah.
It can be accomplished like Infinity War and Endgame, and so I mean we rank these
Yeah.
movies and how good they are, but I don't think they feel like Vegas, while cinema like movies like that are more grounded feel like more like old Vegas
Yeah.
to me.
It's a
But
good analogy.
I got my ticket, so I'll be watching Black Widow. I'll be doing a review afterwards, so
Hell yeah.
we'll see how it goes.
Spoiler free.
Both.
Hey, we'll talk about it next week.
Both.
Yeah. I'll watch it in the next weekend or so.
I'm watching on Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, you get
Both
to
days?
watching the beautiful.
Yeah.
Wait, you got twice?
Friday at Universal City Walk, Saturday at El Capitan. And
Man, and
better
then
hope it
it
doesn't
ends up
suck.
being the worst movie,
Yeah,
Marvel
well,
movie,
hey.
worse than Dark World.
Another
dude,
Captain
look,
Marvel.
I think I'll like it, but I also think I'll like it the least compared to the other 3 movies coming out later this year. Oh, I don't know about Shang-Chi, because the first
I don't know
trailer
about
didn't
Shang-Chi
really do
either.
much for me.
I
The
don't-
second trailer looks all right.
Yeah.
I don't know about Eternals. I don't know if I'm into Eternals yet. But I
Eternals
don't know
is
much. I don't know
super
much
hyped
about it.
for. The
Because
trailer
really-
sucks for Eternals.
Baby,
It didn't
Spider-Man.
do so well.
Suck.
Spider-Man's gonna smack all these movies.
Yeah, I'm about to say
Spider-Man-
Spider-Man's definitely going to smack the shit out of these movies.
Just Tobey Maguire
Dude.
being in there alone is
Yeah,
awesome.
Spider-Man has
no
the
way.
hype of an Avengers movie right now. That's
And
how
it
hype people are for Spider-Man.
Dude, I'm
It's
so.
like-
I am so scared. This better be good.
yeah.
I will not forget Kevin Feige or Marvel if they really butchered Spider-Man's multiverse. Like I said,
Oh,
I
yeah.
think it's just going to be a small battle at the end with all 3 of them, and that's it. Like, I want to see them
Nah.
hang out. I want to
I've
see
been-
Into the Spider-Verse type shit. Where
I've
they're
seen
like
some leaks.
hanging out.
The leaker that leaked the Spider-Man leaks, he was right about the Loki leaks so far. So
Really?
Are
if
the leaks-
his leaks on Spider-Man are true, then it won't just be a small battle at the end where you see all 3
Good.
Spider-Men.
Because it needs to connect. It needs to
Mhm.
connect to another movie.
Miles,
Or it
is it
needs
over?
to be another movie, Spider-Man movie.
Are we gonna get Miles Morales? That'd be dope.
I think
That'd be
so.
dope. That'd be dope. That'd be
After
dope.
Later
credit
on.
scene. After credit scene.
Add
he'll
to
be-
credit scene. Yeah, I don't think he'll be part of the movie, but I feel like they
Man.
gotta hit. They gotta hit at him soon.
Mhm.
After
No way
credit scene, Tom Hardy, Venom.
Tom Hardy.
Or a symbiote. Or a symbiote.
Symbiote. Yeah. I'm all right if Tom Hardy gets brought in. I just don't want them to be part of I want him to be brought into the Marvel Spider-Man movies. I don't want Spider-Man to be brought into the Sony Venom movies because the Venom movie.
Yeah, it has to be the other way around because
Yeah.
Sony doesn't know what the fuck they're doing.
No,
Mhm.
not a fucking
It's
clue.
so funny, but they made Into the Spider-Verse, and that's like the greatest Spider-Man movie in my opinion.
It's phenomenal.
So we'll
they
see.
have the benefit of animation. You can do more
Yeah.
shit with animation.
Yes, that's what I always
That's
say about
true.
musicals. Musicals work better in animation than actual real live action because
That's
it's more
true.
entertaining. More
Yeah.
entertaining. All right, guys. Well, I think we hit on Loki, a lot of the Marvel projects that are coming out. We're going to be watching Black Widow. I think we should do definitely a stream on that Black Widow when it comes out. Our thoughts on that one. I'll probably
yeah.
be the most critical out of all of you
You
on
always
this
are.
movie.
You always
Um,
are.
And I'll be the most fanboy.
Maybe, maybe. I'm gonna give
I'll
it
be-
a chance. I'm hoping
I'll be
that
the
it is
biggest
good.
simper. Scarlett Johansson.
Oh,
She's pregnant
I didn't
now.
know I'm gonna come out
Is
of
she
that
really?
right now.
Yeah, she's
I
pregnant.
didn't know that.
hmm
Who
and then
excited.
of course, What If is coming up. We'll probably talk about that too.
Yeah,
But
so-
season finale of Loki first. Well, I guess Black Widow first, and then season finale of Loki first. Black Widow has her hands full because this was a damn good episode. If Black Widow could succeed that'd be amazing. But I'm gonna have Loki episode on my mind while watching it. But I'm looking forward to see what's going on. You know. All right, guys. Thank you, Overdue Bobcat 50. Thank you, Alligator
having
Loki, aka Mr. Marvel Malbert. Chase, where can we find you on Twitch?
You can find me at Overdue Bobcat 50 on Twitch. I do a lot of video game streamings and a lot of these podcast stream with Dan. I stream games like Modern Warfare, Valorant, Knockout City, and Rust. So come join me, have fun, and let's play some video games.
Get on that Resident Evil Village, man.
Already beat it. I just don't have the means of live streaming it yet. I need to get it from PlayStation 5 to.
People are only playing that because of the boobs.
There's a lot of boobs. Really, very fun game.
Albert, we'll be watching the Black Widow movie. Well, I'll be watching it tonight. You'll be watching it tomorrow on that glorious IMAX and at, like you said, El Capitan. So you'll have definitely a perspective on your feelings. Will be ready to go when we talk Black Widow.
I'm gonna buy it on Disney Plus too.
Oh, don't do it!
Oh my
don't
God,
do this! Don't you do that shit!
You can't
don't give them $30 of your hard-earned money. That's bullshit. Don't do that.
I'm gonna buy the physical release though.
Okay, that's okay.
I have all of them.
That's okay.
I'm gonna save those $30 so I can get the $30 Steelbook Best Buy exclusive edition.
I waited till that Raya came out, and I'm glad I didn't pay for that damn $30. I can tell you that.
All right.
You can find Dan the Man reviews over here at this channel on YouTube. I do have an Instagram where I post some things that you type in Dan the Man reviews and you'll find me there. I got Loki season finale review coming up, and then we're gonna break it down. Overdue might want to join us on that one if you could watch it that night. If he's not if you know he can stay up late, not being a little baby right there. Yeah,
it's hard.
And then also I got some SOA videos coming out, and then I got and then football season overdue. Football season's coming. We're gonna be talking some football. We
gotta finish football and everything. Yeah.
So if you guys like football, we got some football stuff.
You guys do fantasy?
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys do fantasy football?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got a league. I beat his ass
sucks. I beat him. All right.
Not really.
Check the stats last year, buddy. So, yeah, and then of course more Marvel news. I'm pretty sure we're gonna cover What If, and then so after Black Widow is Shang-Chi, I'm chasing Shang-Chi, right?
Yeah. Sean.
Do you know what month that comes out?
September 7, I think.
Okay.
Wait, September what? September 7th? That's my birthday.
Oh, nice.
Okay, I'll be watching that on that day.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thank you guys for listening. We appreciate you guys sticking around on here. And you guys have a good rest of your weekend. And